hosted by Thomas McQuillan and George Gibson. So guys, welcome back to the virtual party, episode 7 today.
What are we doing with our lives, Thomas?
We're doing nothing with our lives.
Yeah, that's why we're doing the podcast.
It's nothing new, so that's why we do this podcast, because we have nothing better to do.
But first off, let's thank the master.
Yes, let's thank our sponsors. So technically, Chris is
our sponsor. He is.
If you don't know, Chris is literally just sat in the corner of the room right now.
He's in the naughty step.
We're too cheap, so we can't afford a proper seat for our
maestro. Yeah.
We're also thanking Jess from Black Studios for giving us the space. So thanks very much. So anyway, let's get back on the topic. So George, what's been going on in the world today?
Well, the Pentagon has said supposedly that there might be a mothership in our galaxy.
Are they bringing you back home?
well, this is the thing. We don't know what's going on, Thomas.
We don't know.
What's your thoughts on this news?
I think we covered this briefly or a lot in John's podcast about aliens and stuff like that.
If they ever came here, then we'd be
fucked. We'd be definitely fucked. It's alarming. It's definitely alarming. There's definitely someone out there. We don't know what, but it's definitely alarming. And I know for a fact that we're all going.
Well, I think it's a hallucination because I do believe that we're on a flat Earth.
You think so?
Yes, it's a flat Earth, and I don't think the moon landing happened.
Chris, what your thought about that?
Have you seen the moon?
Well, in pictures.
You believe that what I'm saying is people have told you all your life. The government has told you all your life. Yeah. You've seen these things.
Yeah, exactly.
So there are other people that's pushing them ideas on you.
Yep.
You have not seen the universe itself.
But there's footage. There is footage of people.
CGI. It's called CGI, Thomas. It's called CGI.
William Shatner. Well, William Shatner. He went up to space.
No, they talk about the moon landing.
Right.
And they say Kubrick directed it.
Yeah, I agree.
That makes sense. But
hold on a minute.
But hold on. The space with William Shatner, that's real.
No, let's not talk about that. Did you not see that? Right. You know when the shuttle's going away from the moon?
Of course.
And the camera's panning up.
Yeah.
Who the hell is the guy still up there?
Robots.
In the 60s.
I mean, they got
Thomas.
the rover.
Let's be realistic here.
Whatever that was.
We're on a flat Earth, and there's a firmament covering the dome. There's a dome covering firmament, and we have a flat plane.
And then the flat earthers also believe.
Here we go, guys.
This podcast is cancelled.
That Australia doesn't exist.
Antarctica doesn't exist.
They say Australia doesn't exist.
Oh, really?
Neither does Antarctica. That's just fake. You know it's fake. Antarctica. Neighbours East Belfast.
Speaking of alienautics.
Oh, there's definitely
there's an alienatic in the room.
In the studio right now, guys. So if you don't know this guy, you will now. He's my brother. He's also a very local rapper here in Belfast. So please welcome on board, Jack0. Come on down, Jack. Come on down. Go sit down there.
Hopefully I can get up under this. You know me.
Welcome aboard to the virtual party.
Sir.
Thank you so much for having me.
No worries. So obviously, I've just said, you're my brother. But we didn't bring you on just because you're my brother. So, Jack, tell us, what is alienautics? What is alienautics?
I think it's just a load of random words I just came up with one night.
This is your song, is alienautics?
Yeah, I just came home and just started writing just a bunch of words.
Was this because you knew that aliens existed?
Yes. I spent a lot of lockdown watching a lot of documentaries on aliens, so I felt like this.
Did you go outside and just saw the spaceships and you're like, oh shit, I should write a song about that?
No, but I thought myself to be inside a spaceship and getting experimented on, and like an alien probe up my backside or something like
Sounds
that.
Sounds like every single day George getting probed on.
What do you think about this mothership? Do you believe in? Because I know you wear NASA jumpers, so I think you.
That's Alpha Industries. That's NASA. But what do you mean about the mother spaceship?
The Pentagon saying that there is a mothership in the galaxy.
Do you believe it?
Yeah, I believe we're not the only life forms out here on Earth. The galaxy's vast, and we're not alone in this universe. There is 100%. We are not alone. And in my mind,
George, you don't agree with that? I can see that in your face.
The weirdest thing is, the pyramids in Egypt. Well, people have said
they're fake.
No,
they're CGI. They're CGI. They're CGI.
I was in Egypt.
Apparently, so
now you're banned.
there's a theory. There's a theory about like the Easter Island, like the big heads in Easter Island. Apparently, the pyramids are a lot longer underneath.
I heard about this.
So it's like a big pillar, like the pyramids.
In the pyramids, yeah, they're like longer than what they look like.
It's like more buried under the ground. See what do you like? That's what I will say. Do you believe aliens built the pyramids?
Well, hold on a minute.
Oh, here we go.
Because like,
taking turns, right, George?
Right,
what's your thoughts?
Right, I have 5 different theories about this.
Cut down to one. One theory.
All I can say is, how did they build these pyramids with a hammer and a chisel? How did they move all these stones?
No, just remember, Egypt had slaves, thousands of slaves.
I know that.
They can take as many years as they want, but they had the manpower.
Thomas, hold on.
They had manpower.
A big 50-ton tractor can't even move one of these stones on its own.
But 100 men carrying one brick can?
No, it can't be done.
What I've seen on the Ancient Aliens, and your guy, Turculosis or whatever, your guy, Giorgio.
Sounds like a Sith Lord.
All I know is his name's Giorgio. He has a really fuzzy heart. And he basically said, maybe the big massive ton bricks were carried up with like a water system, carried up, but then the sand.
How would that work? But water can't go up.
But the stone that built the pyramids came from like. It wasn't even from it. Yeah, it was farther away.
Yeah.
And carrying all that all the way up the pyramid.
Upward because there's a hidden tombs.
There is.
Yeah.
That are upwards inside.
They're still finding more tombs every single day.
True.
And apparently they will find a tomb that will find out the real meaning behind the pyramids. They're still finding they're doing like wee small like camera drills that go into like all the nooks and crannies.
Well, this is the thing, right?
What?
I think there
giants.
was hidden
giants.
Well, giants did exist, yes.
Yeah, that's my theory. I think if giants lifted the rocks,
it could be. But I do think
Finn McQuillan.
Finn McQuillan came from Belfast. He went all the way to Egypt. He's like, right, where's my money, bitch?
I do think
take a piece of the
This is man labour. I'm going to the government like this. Screw you, dickheads.
Take a piece of the Giant's Causeway with him.
Well, that's the but I do believe that there was ancient technology that we don't know anything about now.
Yeah.
Yes,
I think it's been lost. There's been a great reset or something like that. That's what I think.
I know it goes against everything, but that's just my wee theory, and I kind of riddled my head with this all over lockdown. Just binge watched a bunch of documentaries, and that kind of inspired Alienautics. Because it was just like a load of nonsense that I decided to write.
Well, Jack, we heard that you performed recently live.
How was that?
Fifth Element.
Fifth Element. Do you want to tell people where Fifth Element is?
Fifth Element's down Park Road, close to Ormo Park, and it's an amazing building. It's a
charity.
It's a charity building. Fifth Element. Shout out to Daz.
Yeah, shout out to Daz. Who runs Fifth Element. Guys,
and a few others, but Daz is the man behind it. He's been.
And you started working with Daz many years ago, didn't you?
I used to send him stuff when I started doing music around about 2016, 2015, and I was doing mixtapes, and I was going to Cloud9 Studios in Belfast with Graham Laverty. I got into there, and the songs I was doing were beats with tags in them, so I couldn't really release them. And I remember spamming Daz's email when for Skank FM and I used to spam him all these mixtapes and stuff that I was making. And it took me a couple of years, and if it wasn't for my friend Leslie Ann LZ, she helped me get into with Daz, and I laid down what I wanted done for our new album, and he's helped me ever since. So about 3 years, I said, we've been working together, and he's so down the earth, and he's a great mentor.
Experience performing live?
Yes,
again,
how was
it? First time in a long time.
Because obviously you didn't perform.
It's been a while.
In a while.
I think the last performance I'd done was actually
was it Culture Night?
Plastic.
Was it not Culture Night?
No, it's a while.
Culture Night. Was it not Culture Night?
No, it was Plastic before. It was Plastic. It was Afro Culture.
Yeah, but was that no? But Culture, was that not after Plastic?
No. You're in my head.
Even I know this.
I know.
Even I know this.
Right,
and he's your brother.
I remember that because I remember filming.
So it was Culture Night was in 2018, and then straight after it was McHugh's Bar, and that was for
that's right. That's
Rwanda and the band she was in at the time.
Yep.
And then it was Afro Culture Night at Plastic, which was it was like R&B, hip hop, Afrobeat kind of stuff. And shout out the AK, Blaze, Sam, just everybody, Calvin, Snatch for organizing it.
Yeah.
And that was the last gig I done.
And then you only performed in Fifth only it was about a couple of weeks ago.
A month ago.
A month ago.
And how'd you find it?
It was really good.
Yeah, you enjoyed
really
it?
good. I was nervous at the start, but then everybody is. But once I was up there and started performing, I just started to come out, and I was entertaining. You know, I was a bit.
Coming for, obviously, I'm not taking your side because you're my brother, but honestly, compared to, obviously, me and George were there, compared to the other acts, you were amazing. Like, honestly, because he had more stage presence, guys. If you don't know, like,
I never had much, like, how should I say?
Like stage presence?
Yes, because, like, because of my disability, I don't like to throw it onto the bus, but I can only do certain things on stage or, like, on the floor. Like, I'd seen at the performance, there was people standing up under the tables and stuff like that. And I struggled to even get up onto this still, and so like I thought I had a bit more comedy to myself.
Exactly.
So like I was entertaining people and saying like, you know, hi, my name's Jack0, and in case you didn't know, I walk normal as a hence because I don't walk normal. And then I said, if I trip and fall, I'm used to it. You can laugh because I've been very bad with my balance. So like I thought I was engaging that way. You know, was very good of me. You know, to try and add a bit of humor, wasn't all serious. You know?
Exactly. It's different, and like a lot of these artists, they're all the same. Especially from Belfast, it's all either they sound the same, they rap the same. It's nothing new. But with but with yourself, obviously, you're more of a storyteller. Like you can tell through your raps. Obviously, Alienautics again is so different that I don't think a lot of rappers from Belfast have done. You know, it's always about I'm gonna smoke some weed and I'm gonna shag some bitches and shit like that. You know,
another thing I like about his music is there's references to culture as well.
Like speaking
Star Wars,
of
Pokemon. Speaking of Star Wars,
here we go.
Jack, this is the most important question.
This is a Star Wars special, guys.
This is the most important question.
What is it?
In all of podcast history, who's your favorite clone trooper?
Oh, you threw me onto the bus here.
Favorite clone has to be one.
We all pick. So Jack goes first.
And every time that you choose, you have to salute.
Salute to Chris.
Salute the soldier.
I'm going to say Captain Rex.
Oh no! Why?
I'm just going to say Captain Rex because like he's a clone captain who had ARC Trooper training done, but yet he wears a mix of Phase 1 armor, Phase 2 armor, and he's a captain in charge of the 501st, and basically. Captains only manage a small amount of troopers, like not even. But then he manages the whole entire the whole battalion. So, and I like his character and you know the way he gets on. He's one of those like trustworthy clones. But if there was more clones, like there is loads, but you said to choose one. So it would have to be Captain Rex.
That's my answer out of the way because I was going to choose Rex.
Well, listen.
I was going to choose Rex.
We can't all choose Rex.
I know, yeah. So,
pick your second.
Were you going to get sick? I'm trying to go with someone that isn't so generic. Yeah, someone.
Omega.
Omega.
No, I know a clone. Boba Fett. I'm going to choose Boba Fett. He's a clone. He's a clone. He's a clone.
Clone trooper. Clone trooper.
He is a clone trooper.
A clone with accelerated aging.
He was never in the Republic.
Echo.
Okay. Echo.
I love Echo. Salute the soldier. Salute Echo.
He might die tomorrow.
Don't say that. If you don't know, guys, it's Tuesday and it's out on Wednesday.
Well, tell us why you like Echo.
I love Echo because he was there pretty much from the beginning, and he's made his way through the Badge Bash series, which is way after Revenge, after Order 66.
Only been like a year.
And I feel so bad because I know for a fact he may die too. He may die. He may die in Bad Batch.
Him or Tech.
It's
Tech, 100%.
But I love how Echo's character, even whenever he got kidnapped, and obviously he's now got a metal arm loss or something.
He's half cyborg.
He went through so much. And he's still like there fighting the good fight sort of thing. I love that. I love that character. So yeah.
Well, I'm gonna continue with the theme of the Domino Squad.
Oh, here we go.
No, this just reminded me.
Rex is not part of the Domino Squad.
No, but the theme of Echo. This reminds me of the YouTube videos me and Jack used to do.
The Senate reviews. Yes, back in lockdown.
I'll leave the description to our channel down below.
But anyway,
we might come back, might not.
Has to be fives.
Oh,
he is probably the most important clone next to Rex.
100%.
Because he almost exposed Order 66.
That's right.
In fact, he saved Rex's life.
Yep.
He may have saved Ahsoka's life.
Yep.
He's just such an important clone.
Yep.
He has the most probably the most character development next to Rex.
Yes.
And he has his own personality, questioning the war, questioning why he's there, and he talks back.
He got killed off too easily.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
I hate Fox for it.
Fox is the most despised clone like ever for killing that, but then Darth Vader snaps his necks in the comics.
Right, now there's Chris, your favorite clone.
I haven't watched it.
But you have to give it. You have to give your favorite clone.
I have never watched it. Is this Clone Wars?
Clone Wars.
Yeah.
I've never watched it. I want to watch it. I love Star Wars. But I listen. You watch.
Well, how about this? How about this? How about this then? How about this? We'll give him an out, okay?
Commander Cody.
Favorite Star Wars character ever.
Oh.
Ever. Since we're still talking about Star Wars. Ever.
It would have to be Han Solo.
Oh, why? Good. Explain why.
Never tell me the odds.
Yes.
I love you. I know.
I love that actually Han Solo film.
I slept for it.
Right, we have a story.
I know why he loved it. You woke me up. I was in the cinema. We were watching. I was fast asleep, and then we two woke me up because they were having a spasm. They were having a spasm.
We loved Solo. I love Solo because it was so different from like lightsabers and stuff. It was more smuggling, bounty hunter, and all this kind of stuff, which I was very into.
At the moment Darth Maul appeared, we had a seizure.
So we were in the Odeon in Victoria Square, and as soon as Kira went on on the hologram, and we heard the voice, it was Darth Maul, and it was Sam Witwer, and it was Ray Park, or the guy body Darth Maul, and Sam Witwer from Clone Wars. Yep. And as soon as he came on the hologram, I had a spasm. I had a spasm on the Odeon floor. Yeah. I was on the floor. I was like Darth Maul, and
because I don't know why, it was my birthday, and I was too tired because I think I was ill or something like that, and I fell asleep. And I only remember watching the opening of Han Solo, and I woke up with you two making that spasm. We were like, oh my god!
It was so good, wasn't it? It was superb.
I would say
it left the door open.
Darth Maul is probably our favorite character.
No,
to be fair,
are we going to see Darth Maul return as live action?
Yeah,
probably as a flashback or something.
You think so?
Yeah, well, the armor in Mandalorian, I think she has a link to Darth Maul.
Or in the Ahsoka TV series, a flashback to Maul and Ahsoka fighting.
But I don't think they'll do that.
Darth Maul was a great character.
Oh yeah, fantastic character.
We have to watch the Clone Wars, Chris, because Darth Maul is a big part of it.
If somebody hasn't seen Clone Wars, where do I start?
From the beginning.
Is it just a cartoon on its own?
Yeah.
There's a movie. There's a mini.
Watch the movie first, or the
Watch the series.
You don't have to watch.
You don't have to watch them in chronological order, but the movie technically is in the start of the
Attack of the Clones.
No,
the movie. Obviously you have to watch the Attack of Clones.
It's if you really want to go chronological order, Battle of Christops is the cat and mouse episode.
I told you guys this is going to be a nerdy one.
Right?
Yeah.
Star Wars was always put on like at Easter, at Christmas.
Yeah.
Every time the schools were off, Star Wars was put on, and everyone used to go, "Oh, for fuck's sake, not Star Wars again!" And then he digitally re-enhanced it, and brought them back out, and it found a whole new audience, and it became cool again.
Yeah.
But everyone used to see Star Wars on TV and go, "Oh, for."
That's interesting. That's very interesting. Tales of the Jedi is one we really enjoyed because it fleshed out more. Count Dooku's character, because now you actually feel a bit sorry for him
because he was very good friends with Qui-Gon, and then obviously whenever
it ties in the knots between episode one. So technically Count Dooku was around, but he left the Jedi Order at the time, but he was still able to come into the temple and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then we won't spoil it for Chris, but it made watching that episode made you actually understand Count Dooku, where he came from, and why did he
why turned to the dark side.
Yeah, so I feel like that was very good. You feel sorry for him. He actually cared for Qui-Gon.
So,
are you caught up in the Mandalorian?
That's what we're going to.
I haven't seen this series.
Yep.
But I hear there's a pretty cool redemption arc for the guy who played Jar Jar Binks.
He was considering suicide.
He was.
I was off. I remember watching the whole
the documentary
video when it first came out. Yeah, I felt so sorry for him. I mean, it's the same with Jake. It's the same with Jake Lloyd. Everybody done him so dirty.
Who?
Jake Lloyd, the original Anakin Skywalker.
Oh right, yes, that's
everybody done him so dirty, and he's quit acting altogether. He's
still doing Comic Cons.
No, he's not. He's very rarely, but he hates any questions to do with
Anakin.
and they've done him dirty. But I'm glad Ahmed Best came back, and I mean, he voiced Jar Jar in the Clone Wars TV series, obviously voice lines and stuff. Yeah. But I love how they give him a second chance and redeemed him.
Jar Binks as bad as they.
No.
But see if you see him
in Sith Lord. He is a Sith Lord.
If you watch Star Wars, he has some great moments in the Clone Wars TV series. It's the same voice actor, Ahmed Best.
Well, Chris, this is the thing.
He dressed up as a Jedi to capture Newt Gunray, and he pretended he was a Jedi. That's him. He was very good.
But Chris, this is the thing, right? The prequels got a lot of hate. People watching back on them now love them because of the Clone Wars. It's fleshed all the characters out. It's made Anakin better. It's made even Jar Jar better. It's made Darth Maul, everyone there.
Hayden Christensen got redemption.
It's just done so much for Star Wars as general now. That's why we're getting all these characters back.
Here's one.
What is it?
Right.
I actually technically have been to the cinema with Natalie Portman.
What?
Oh,
what?
Is this a date story or what?
Did she spray her perfume on you?
I went to the Odeon to see, what do you call Bruno? Not Bruno, but the other one.
Borat?
It was Bruno. Bruno, yeah, it was Borat. It was Bruno or Borat, and I was buying my ticket.
Yep.
And I looked to the side of me, and there was Natalie Portman.
No way.
And I was like, what? And she was over here filming Your Highness.
Oh, right.
She was absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
Right?
She's not stunning now.
She sat beside me with her big fucking hand on this big guy, and she was fucking stunning.
Yeah.
And she was laughing her head off, and I was like, what sort of fucking alternate universe?
Yeah. Is this? Did you get a picture?
Loose game.
She was at the guy, she was fucking.
Yeah.
Rory Best.
Right, we're moving on. Right, so
Pokemon.
No, we were talking about the Mandalorian.
No,
I just want to say this. So obviously we were talking about the Mandalorian just briefly there. Predictions.
No,
Here we
so
go.
before Ahmed Best showed up, we all had a theory.
Oh, yeah, we had a theory.
And it was me, because normally I predict very Star Wars stuff. So for example, there was an episode in Clone Wars where the commando droids, which are like the equivalent of Republic commandos, were on a droid gunship, and they literally were on top and walked off it. And I had the action figure. I had the actual toy and the action figure. I used to plan the landing on my stars, and I think only stopped about 8 years ago or 9 years ago. It wasn't that long ago. I'm still a big kid. And I remember but I had it in my head, Commando droids will walk off the gunship, and then there was the Onderon arc, and they actually recreated the exact scene. I remember flipping. I was like, I did this even before. Like, see, when predictions in Star Wars, I am very good. What other predictions did I did? No, there was one I actually did get right. Another one
was it not Kanan?
No, was it?
No.
There was another one I did get right. It was a prediction.
Did you not get that prediction right about Kanan with the Order 66?
No.
Do you know, I used to do, as youngsters, you love your toys and stuff.
Yeah.
And someone, my mum's friend, gave me an original film, the Millennium Falcon.
Nice.
I had all their toys.
Yeah.
I can't find them. I had Stormtroopers and all, and I had Darth Vader where you pushed up a lightsaber.
That's class.
Cool. Like original,
cool.
Fucking don't know where they are.
Did you have the Boba Fett prototype toy? That's like
the rocket firing Boba Fett,
because
they scrapped it because it was
hazardous.
Yeah, it was apparently choking kids because they would shoot, and then
that's like £30,000. That toy.
I was in Pawn Stars. Close to saying porn stars. But
speaking of porn stars,
Jack.
No, for the Mandalorian theory. So before Ahmed Best came in and stole the show, we all had a theory. I started it, and I said, "What if?" Now this is what if. What if Anakin Skywalker was the one to save Grogu? Now, them two laughed at me.
No, I didn't. I agree with you. I agree.
Because it's Disney, and I'm throwing Disney onto the bus.
Everything.
I'm throwing Disney onto the bus here because I felt like if Anakin can slaughter all the younglings, but yet if he was the one to save Grogu, I thought Disney would end up doing that to show that Anakin Skywalker had a bit of good in him, and he was like saving Grogu because he'll be the next.
Used.
Yeah, but then it kind of like it doesn't make sense on a personal note because Anik, but then it's Disney, and I feel like Disney would love to do something to mess it all up.
They're going to ruin Ahsoka 100%.
No, because apparently Dave Filoni says that he has full control, creative control over Ahsoka because it was your girl. Who's your girl who runs Disney?
Kathleen Kennedy.
She has full creative control over the Mandalorian, but Dave Filoni said in the film he has full creative control over Ahsoka.
Anakin's appearing in Ahsoka.
Yeah,
and Ahsoka is going to go in this world portal.
Star Wars
going to
Rebels.
bring him out of the portal, and it's going to ruin the whole trilogy.
It's not because
he's going to go back into the portal.
He will, just like Ezra did the Ahsoka. Ezra saved Ahsoka, and then she said, you can't do this because
it'll mess up the timeline. It's a
and I feel like this is what will happen in the Ahsoka series. She'll pull Anakin out of the portal.
And they'll have like a wee scene together.
Anakin will be like, you have to just let the events, she'll say, I know what you will become. Yep. You're going to do a lot of terrible things, but I feel like there could be a scene where Anakin just accepts you can't change you can't change it. Yep. You have to let the events happen as much as it's going to hurt. I feel like that could work. That could work.
And that'll be very emotional scene. Now, moving on. Pokemon. Here we go.
Jack, favorite Pokemon in history?
In history.
Ever?
Favorite Pokemon
We're going to ask Chris this as well.
Ask Chris. So think hard, Chris.
Favorite Pokemon in history for me would be...
No, have to be one.
Can't be generic either.
I know.
Well, it can be if you
want. No, it can't. Have to think really outside the box.
So no Pikachu?
No.
I'm going to say Deoxys.
Oh.
I like Deoxys.
Why? DNA Pokemon?
He's an alien.
Okay.
And he can change to attack form, speed form, defense form, and another form,
attack
I think.
Form.
And
attack
space.
form.
I said that.
Attack, speed,
and his normal form.
Normal form, yeah.
I've Deoxys 100%. I mean, in the Rayquaza movie, he was Deoxys versus Rayquaza.
Classic. And he was in the games as the event Pokemon.
George, favorite Pokemon of all time? It has to be one, and it can't be generic.
I'm struggling with this.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I have a Pokemon YouTube channel, and the mascot of my channel is Rayquaza.
I know. So is it going to be Rayquaza?
Shiny Rayquaza.
Do you know, I feel like I'm going to be ribbed by you guys for being generic, but it has to be Mewtwo. It just has to be. No.
I'd say that's not really, because I remember growing up, you always liked Mewtwo. I remember you saying it was your favorite.
Yeah,
and he has that special story about him of not belonging. You know, he's trying to be someone else. Yeah, he was created.
And he was telepathic, so he was able to talk.
Yeah,
and he was trying to find who he was, and there was something special about that. Like
100%.
You know, and the quote at the end, you know, the circumstances of one birth is irrelevant. You know, all that kind of thing. And
right.
Well,
you know what I'm going to say.
Chimchar.
No.
Entei.
Charmander.
I thought Entei was your favorite.
Well, first of all, make a guess, right? What you go?
I thought it was Entei.
I thought it was Entei because you
like
Entei.
That's because you said no generic Pokemons. That's generic. Is it generic? It's generic. I'm trying to think outside the box. Right? Regigigas. Come on, you have to love Regigigas. You have to love Regigigas.
There's going to be an ultimate Regigigas.
And I already hate these new forms. It's so shit. Pokemon, they're destroying Pokemon.
You've got Reggie Ice, Reggie Rock.
Now Reggie Dragon. Bullshit.
No, Reggie Steel,
bullshit.
Reggie Drago, and Reggie Alecki. And I feel like they're going to introduce the ultimate Regigigas because so far Regigigas consists of only Reggie Ice, Reggie Steel, Reggie Rock. But I feel like they're going to just make the ultimate Regigigas, and it's going to be twice the size with every single power.
Ruining Pokemon.
Paradox.
They
Paradox
are ruining.
Yeah, I could see that. Well,
Chris, they're ruining Pokemon.
Chris, favorite Pokemon ever?
Yeah, Chris.
Logan Paul. I have never watched an episode of Pokemon.
You got to know some Pokemon.
Come on.
Charizard.
Oh, okay.
Who
the fuck is Charizard?
That's not even pronounced.
Charizard.
Swine.
Uncultured.
Fucking Pokemon shaming me.
Get some culture, you peasant.
That's why I'm sitting on the ground.
Yeah, exactly. Good to see.
Right, so we have to rank the Pokemon games from worst to best.
Worst to best.
And I will go first.
Are you talking about all the games or what games are?
We're talking about the mainline games, so the handheld games, not the side quest games.
I should go first.
Do we have like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or does it?
Oh, no.
Top five from
the bottom to the top.
That's a lot of games to go for.
No.
If you have a good memory, you can remember them.
I go first.
Okay, you go first.
So we're gonna have to put. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to put red.
So is this worst to best?
One's the best.
No, it's just worst to best.
It's worst to best.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have to put the worst.
Yep.
Red and blue. No.
What?
No.
Considering that you're really desperate to get the Japanese versions.
Right, hold on. Right. Jack knows what I'm saying about this.
Right.
Red and blue started all. If it wasn't for those games, there'd be no Pokemon.
Yes.
100%.
So that's okay. Obviously, they're brilliant games. I love them. But if you're comparing them to the rest of the games had additions.
Yes.
And Red and Blue, there's no post game. It's very limited. It's very it's old, it's dated. But it's obviously a classic. But that's what I'm going to say. So get Red and Blue, and then it gets tough now. It gets tough. If we're going by that logic, we'll have to say probably Gold and Silver. Second last. But I have a reason for that as well.
Now that's actually very controversial.
It's controversial, but
not really.
Because that was a good game.
Because you were able to go to the Kanto region.
Exactly.
But there's a better game than that.
Heart Console's over. Heart Console's over.
So and then we'll go up to probably X and Y. X and Y. No, they were good, but they were again
shit games.
I'm basing this on post game.
Based in France.
Post game is a very important thing. If you don't have post game in a Pokemon game, then
it keeps people involved and keeps people playing more.
Exactly.
But why is it so low in your list?
Well, gonna say no. I mean,
on the bus now.
X and Y, there's no post game. That's the problem, and it's a bit too generic. It's too easy. They made Pokemon games too easy.
Yeah, they made it for the 3DS. They made it very easy.
So after that, we have a Mega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire. I didn't think
games.
Well, they're okay, but
you were able to catch the Oxes in game.
There was good things, but the post game again was rubbish.
There was the battle.
It could have been better.
There wasn't no Battle Frontier. There was a Battle Tower. No.
Yeah, but it could have been better. Then we'll go. I'm trying to speed for it.
Yeah.
Then we'll go Sword and Shield. Okay, this expansions helped a bit, but again, too easy.
Yeah.
I like a challenge in a Pokemon game. So then, as we go on, we'll probably have to pick Fire Red and Leaf Green. I grew up with them. They were unbelievable.
Okay.
Then Ruby and Sapphire.
Okay.
Then Emerald.
Right. Now we're going close to the best ones.
Black and White 2 has to be. Now I might have missed a few.
Here we go.
Black and White. I missed Sun and Moon, and I missed Scarlet and Violet.
Never played Sun and Moon.
Well, Sun and Moon, Scarlet and Violet. Maybe I'll put them before Fire and Leaf Green.
Or Ultraviolet or Ultra Moon and Ultra.
Well, they were okay, but I'll skip straight to the top two.
Okay, top two. Go.
Save time. Okay. Black and White 2 are the second best Pokemon games ever.
Ooh.
Heart Gold and Soul Silver are the best Pokemon games of all time.
Yep.
Because it was a balance between a brilliant remake. Mm-hmm. So they copied everything from Gold and Silver.
It was technically like it was platinum, but it was the
true.
So they had everything that Gold and Silver had, and they added event Pokemon. Yeah. They added an extra layer of a story. You can't beat Heart Gold Soul Silver.
No.
They're selling it in CEX in game, whatever.
I know, for like
£150.
170.
Yeah. And I missed Diamond Pro. I can't believe I missed Diamond Pro.
Jack,
anyway.
now to shorten it down, just go from.
I'll just say
top five.
No, I'll just say best game ever, Emerald.
Oh, why?
Emerald's up there.
Emerald,
the Battle Frontier.
Battle Frontier. I think I only remember doing the Battle Tower, and I feel like in the original games there was the Battle
Mason and
the Battle Pike and
Pike Syndicate.
The Pike. But have to be 100% Emerald. Brandon has Reggie's.
No, actually, so that's your best game, right? What's your worst game? Worst Pokemon game?
Sun and Moon. Never played them, but I've seen the graphics. I don't believe in all the Ultra Pokemons and all this kind of stuff because they're saying they're not classified as Pokemon because they're from a different dimension. So technically, Arceus never created them. They're like from it's like Deoxys because I think Deoxys we classify as an Ultra Pokemon because he's an alien too, and these Ultras are from like wormholes. And the only thing I will say about Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon is you were able to face like Cyrus, Rainbow Rocket, Red and Blue, or Gary and Ash or Red, whatever you call them, and they were at least in their 20s because someone calculated in Sun and Moon it tells you how long there was like a time, and someone added up their age, so they're about 20. Gary is about 23 and Red's about 20, like in their 20s.
Sun and Moon were very good. Well,
you played them.
I played them. I liked the fact that it was a sunny, a vibrant region.
It was Hawaii.
But again, it's lacking something. I don't know what's lacking. That's lacking something. Okay. But anyway, Thomas,
yes.
I know what your number one's going to be.
Well, what do you
Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl.
No. He still hasn't completed it.
Platinum.
Yep. Yeah. Best game.
We grew up.
In my opinion, Pokemon Platinum.
That was tell them the platinum story about how you got the game.
No, Emerald. No, hold on. Emerald.
Thief. Yeah, that was tell about your thief.
Sorry. Right. Emerald will always have a hole in my heart because it was the very first game I ever played as a child, and then after that I was introduced to Red and Blue because obviously back then we were born around the whole generation of Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. You know, Leaf Green.
Well, we were born technically Red and Blue came out, but we were obviously babies. We couldn't play.
Leaf Green, Fire Red came out after. No, just before, same time as Emerald.
Was it?
Just before. So
just before Emerald came.
The first game I played was Ruby and Sapphire.
And then
2003.
Because I remember playing.
Yeah.
No.
2004 Fire Leaf Green. 2005.
5 was Emerald.
There we go.
And then Diamond Pearl
I remember
6.
playing Emerald because that was one with Trico. That was always my favorite. Yeah, that was always my favorite Pokemon. But yeah, as I was saying, it will always have a hold in my heart. But Platinum, like you said, it had an expansion. That was the first thing. It had that expansion with the Palatar, and all that shit. You know,
it was the Battle Frontier.
Distortion World.
Yeah, all that sort of stuff. That's why
Mountain Patron and
also the only other reason was because it still had that 8-bit original sort of like graphics. I still loved that. Everything after that, shit.
Well, sure, Gold and Heart Gold and Soul Silver had the 8-bit graphics.
Right. After Black and White 1 was where I drew the line. After Black and White 1, dead to me. It was dead to me. The graphics, the ruined Pokemon.
Black and White needs to be remastered 100%.
If you can't play it, then you can't say if it's good or not.
Exactly.
I've watched you play this new Arceus game. Absolutely shit.
I bumped it.
Shit. This new one, whatever it was called, the same graphics as Arceus game.
I bumped. Sure, we grew up. We grew up like buying Pokemon games. So technically, if I went for a Pokemon game, you would get the Polar Up, and so would you. You know, we grew up. So, for example, you got Heart Gold, I got Soul Silver. I remember. You know,
making all these Pokemon look like shit. There's Ice Cream Cone for God's sake, and the flipping duck,
Vanillite, and Vanilluxe, very good Pokemon,
and a duck. Next thing you know, it'll be like one of those. Do you know those emojis of
Farfetch? Farfetch is a duck.
No, do you know those emojis of shit? That's what they'll do now. They'll be like, oh, a shit Pokemon.
You can't say anything. You played Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, which only came out a year ago.
It actually has come out a year ago.
Only because it had that nostalgic feeling and I loved it. But everything after that, I'm talking about like Black and White 2, X and Y, all that bullshit. Shit.
Brilliant games.
Shit to me anyway.
Well, Chris, what do you think of the Battle Frontier?
He doesn't even know.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
So that's Pokemon.
Right, Jack, I want to get back to...
I remember playing Star Wars on the Super Nintendo.
Oh.
The first Star Wars, and it's a great game still.
Yeah.
What's it? Dark Forces?
No, I think it's just called Star Wars.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It looks good.
Yeah.
Right.
And the song.
Yeah.
The Moss ID Cantina.
Right, right. I want to first focus, we didn't really delve into this topic, but the reason why we brought you on is because obviously you're a rapper. So take us back. First time you started rapping. Like what drove you to do rapping?
So I feel like I don't know how to
give a brief story. Like why did you want to do rapping?
I was sort of had some talent and I could use my abilities, like my stories to to write words and write songs about my past experience. Okay. Because after school, my friend Justin and Jason would bring in CDs like Tupac, Eminem, and we would all sit around in his bedroom and just jam out. Yep. And one day he brought in a mixtape of a local Belfast, Northern Ireland rapper, which was John Sue. So. And it wasn't Belfast, baby. It was...
Was it I Was Born in Belfast?
No, it was a mixtape beforehand. And John Sue had a song called... what was it called? Was it? It's gonna bug me now. But it was a song that John Sue had on his one of his mixtapes. Yep. And I remember just reciting and freestyling over his words, and they were just like, you could do something with, you could do something. Yep. And I thought maybe I could just write about my experiences with hospitals and, stuff that's been going on in my life. So that's basically, I took it from there and just went.
And where did you go after that? So after you wrote your first song, where did you go?
Well, the first song I wrote was Whistle Dixie. It was a cover of a Yellow Wolf song that was with Travis Barker, and I did a cover song of that in Cloud9 Studios because I was looking for a recording studio, and I recorded that song and it flopped. I really didn't know what rhymes I was using or what words, punchlines, you name it. I didn't really have like a scheme that was going for me. So I recorded that, and then at the time I kind of just slumped back and just went in the shadows. But I kind of got picked on a lot in school because of my music, and a lot of people were just, slagging me off and, saying you're not going to make it, and, why are you doing this? They always just used to make fun of me constantly. And then the next song afterwards was a cover of G-Eazy, Me, Myself and I, which I recorded.
I remember that song. It was decent.
It was decent, but once again, didn't really know what I was saying.
But you were still young. You were chill.
About 15, 16 I was. So I was still quite young. And my friend David Harrison was kind of like a rapper going around at the time. And he's discovered me, and he kind of taught me some ropes and how to say and how to properly rhyme, and he kind of helped me to say and
develop your craft.
Develop my craft basically. So they were like the early works I'd done, and then basically I did my first mixtape called Tales from the East. And
that's right. I remember that. Do you remember that, Dude?
Yeah. You remember Tales from the East?
I remember Tales from the East, yeah.
And then I
remember shooting that music video.
I had one song called East Side, and it's
the East Side. That's East Side.
It was so controversial. I feel like I was the young Spencer back in the day. That's what I will say. Like at the time, Young Spencer, fantastic guy, love him, but he does a lot of good music, but hear me out anyway. I feel like
Belfast Evil.
I feel like I was the young Spencer at the time because I was talking about, living in East Belfast. I was talking about like loyalists. I was talking about like murals on gable walls. I was talking about, people saying bad things around the local area, and I was getting like 4K views on Facebook. I was getting popular, and I had like flute bands and all sharing my my music video, and like all these like wee pensioners and all sharing like things on Facebook, saying this wee lad's going for East Belfast, and I was like, "Friggin, this is amazing." But I kind of scorned myself there as well because it just kind of got it was very catchy, but it wasn't you. It wasn't me. I didn't feel like I was like. I feel like the free mixtapes I'd done. So I did Tales from the East, 2016, Walk Again, which was in 2017, Strange Kid in 2018. I released 3 singles, official singles to like Apple and iTunes
and
Spotify, and then I went on to release a self-titled EP, and then took another 4 years, and came back with Strange Kid Returns.
And do you want to tell people about that? Like, is the album out? The album is out?
Yeah, the album is out. Strange Kid Returns. So iTunes, Apple, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, Deezer. It's on like basically everything now.
And we'll be shooting the newest music video very, very soon.
Yeah, I mean, Alienautics was done, but that was all me on Fiverr. I was some guy on Fiverr.
And I'm going to be a bounty hunter.
Yeah, there's a song called Bounty Hunter Jack has
made. So basically, we're not going to spoil the films. Well, the first one's we're doing Garble Space Static, so that's going to be the next music video, Garble Space Static.
It'll be a very groovy one. Well, not groovy, but like it'll be very technical anyway.
Yeah, we're trying to branch out. I'm trying to see what I can do.
Trying to be more creative with our videos this time.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think outside the box because I feel like it is kind of a competition who can come up with the best visuals and stuff like that. I will say, because there's people who've done music videos, and I was like, I thought of that idea, but they did it first. And then I'm like, right, what hasn't been done? And then that's kind of where I get my inspiration from. Even if I have to think outside the box, I'm like, okay, I want this to happen because no one else has done it. And like, I used to share a lot of hip hop on Facebook. I used to share a lot of Irish hip hop on Facebook. But because I was sharing and giving my own opinions, a lot of people were commenting underneath and saying, why are you saying this? I don't agree with you. So basically, I stopped sharing stuff on hip hop because I just couldn't. So basically, I listened to a lot of Irish hip hop artists off online, like to myself. You know, I could be going for a walk and I could be listening to like say Skeet's new album or someone like that, or Jay Sutton. You know, I like, and they're great people. I absolutely love them.
Yeah.
But you know, sharing opinions and stuff on Facebook, it's not really me because I, you know, So I thought I love Irish hip hop. And I'll just listen to other people. By myself, you know, in my own time, because it's best that way, because I just don't like sharing my thoughts on it, because you know, I better kept them myself, you know. I enjoy the music, you know, but it's just crazy.
Have you heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
There we go.
He was so powerful.
Shut up.
Shut up, George.
Well, speaking of Darth Plagueis, George, speaking of Darth Plagueis, when was the last time you did The Mentor?
I'm not doing
Here we go.
So
once upon a time in a galaxy far, far away, there's a guy called George.
Like this. I do not want a reputation. I've had enough bloody rumors spread already.
You stuck the vacuum cleaner to your neck.
more like her mouth.
Although I will say I was kicked in the face on a date recently.
Yes, you were. Explain the situation. What happened?
Yeah, what happened?
So, we're having pre-drinks.
Yep.
And
at her house. Yeah.
Yes, and she jumped down the stairs, right, and was starting to like.
How did you think she was, Spider-Man?
Yeah. It was like a karate movement. There was like punches and kicks, and I jumped down the stairs as well. I was like, yeah.
I could just see George jumping down the stairs.
But as soon as I jumped down the stairs, her foot came out. And she kicked me square in the eye, really knocking me out. So
I wish it did knock you out. Good riddance.
Have you ever been knocked out in a day, Chris?
No, but somebody did a cartwheel once and fucking kicked me in the face.
Good to see.
I was jumping down off it was in a youth club and like probably about 12 or 13. I was jumping down off a stage and this girl was doing a cartwheel.
Oh no.
As I was jumping down, so sparked out.
Yikes.
Ouch.
When's the last? I only think that's sort of anything like that happened to me was probably rugby. Remember that?
Where that's not a date.
I know, but I'm just talking about like
rugby date.
Just getting like punched in the face sort of thing. It was just rugby. We used to play rugby, me and George with a couple of others, and we were playing against what was it? Ince was it Ince school? Was it Ince? Were you there during that match? You know, civil service against was it Ince? Were you there? You weren't. No, you weren't. You left at that time.
Yeah, I left.
You left because he was a quitter. He's always a quitter. Swine. But anyway, we were playing against Ince, and there's an awesome photo of me like in the mid punch. So obviously rugby's a tough game, but this guy,
you don't say.
The guy went in and he just punched me in the nose. But in the photo, because I think my dad took, it was dad who took the photo, and you can see the ripple in my nose as it punches.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I think the only sport I played was football back in the baby, and that was it. That's when I was active. I mean, I kicked the occasional ball with the dog, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we can flex it with that. You were in the BB team. I mean, 3 of us were.
We were.
Let me tell you this: we were the worst.
Oh, that's right.
We were the worst BB
football team in the history of Northern Ireland.
There was only 6 of us. And
we argued. We kicked and punched and cried up at Beaver. We used to play football up at Beaver.
We had one good player. He was called Alex. I don't know if
Alex. He rings a bell.
Yeah, he was
a fin guy, but he could run fast and he was a good striker. Anyway, I'm not even exaggerating here, okay? So every match we played, I think we averaged losing at least 5-0 or more. We lost 5-0.
We literally did. We sucked.
I don't think we ever won a match.
No,
we never did.
Do you know how bad we were? We got a runner-up trophy or like a participation trophy.
But I do remember scoring a penalty. That's about it.
I don't remember
that participation.
You were a goalkeeper, were you?
No, I was goalkeeper.
I was like mid. I was mid. I think I was defender.
You were right beside the goalkeeper. I was.
Yeah.
But to be fair, we didn't get training. It was just
it was just for fun anyway.
And Chris was our manager.
Here, speaking of fun, so when was the last time that any of us went to Limelight?
Me. I want to say
never again.
No, never again.
Tonight.
I am never going to Limelight ever again.
No, you
tonight.
No,
Rubber Mondays.
I went. See, the Limelight used to be a great. The Limelight is great if you're single. if you're single, young, dumb, and you're just, you're like freshers and stuff like that. But then see if you're taken, if you're in a relationship, then it comes out to be a really shit place. Like last time I was in the Limelight, I was single and I had an absolute blast because obviously when you're single, you can do whatever you want. But then when we went last year,
no, it wasn't last year. It was only
but it was last year. We went for spoons first, and then we went. I said, I'll come with you to the Limelight. You said, I think Shine was on. I said, I just go for a couple of drinks. Yeah, and you were with that girl who friend sung you, but and I went there and it was so shit. It was a shit atmosphere and.
I think we're getting into the whole reason why we go to Limelight.
I said to you, I want my £6 back because, seriously, the Limelight is shit. I was there's no good music. What happened to the heavy metal? There used to be a rock and heavy metal. What happened to it?
Back in the days, Limelight was supposed to be the centre of rock and roll.
It's not just that. You know what I think? I think
Northern Ireland has always been like rock and punk. It's always was a rock scene in Belfast.
And now it's just chavs and girls.
Now it's chavs and bulldogs and weed and
18-year-olds who want to get fucked all the time.
No, hold on. I do like I like a rave. I like a vibe. But the thing is, I feel like the older we're getting and all that. It is true. If you're not single,
you realize we're 25.
If you're not single, you don't enjoy it.
No,
we're 25. We're still young.
And that's
another topic. I'm going to say this. Don't you stop me. We may look like 30. But we're 25. So people out there, fuck off. There we go. I said it.
Chris, can you jump in for him?
There you go.
I've been told I've looked older. I mean, I'm 24 in September. I've been told I looked older.
If we all shaved, then we look younger.
If I shaved, I'm going to look like I have cancer.
Right, that's a bit too far.
Well, anyway,
going to go for my chemotherapy.
That's too far.
I'm ready to go for enough therapy. Never mind chemo.
Cancel virtual party podcast.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
In other news, two hosts of a podcast got cancelled today.
Let's end this on
celebrities.
On a lighter note,
on celebrities.
All right. What about celebrities?
Sure, me and George met Plo Koon.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Right, okay.
Yeah,
so explain the story. I was there too. Was that the Emerald Garrison? Was it Emerald Garrison?
Emerald Garrison at the Odyssey at the W5.
2010.
No.
It was. I do remember because I'll say first, we missed so many good people. Like I remember Jeremy.
We didn't know who they were at the time.
Because Jeremy Bullock came over, the original guy who played Boba Fett.
He was there.
Kenny Baker came over. Like David Prowse came over. And at the time, me being so young, I never knew who they were. And now they're all gone, and I'm so raging.
Yeah. We were shy kids. We couldn't talk to anyone. No. But the thing is, we got rejected by Plo Koon.
And I vaguely remember.
Jack said, we walked up and there was no one at the line, right? And Jack said, I want to talk to him, but I'm too scared. Yeah. I was like, I'm scared as well. And he's like, go talk to him. I was like, okay. So I went up to Plo Koon, went up to a bloody Jedi High Council member, and I said, can we have a picture with you? And he was like, we have to pay 20 quid. we don't have 20 quid.
Swat.
And he was like, okay. And I just was like,
Here, George, speaking of awkward moments, tell Jack about that time you went to the wrong apartment.
You said this in the last podcast. Why are you so obsessed?
Meeting a naked man instead of Jack in a sec.
But we used to go to
Sounds like all your dreams.
We used to go to all these conventions together, on Comic Cons. I mean, I've been to the most.
Yeah.
I've met Michael Rosenbaum, who played Lex Luthor in Smallville. I've met Sarah Jessica Parker, she was in Smallville, and then she came back to play Nora Allen in The Flash, which I didn't know at the time. Yeah. And then I've met, who else?
What was Michael Rosenbaum like?
He was fantastic. So the story with him was,
you call me Lex. I remember.
That was fantastic.
I know this podcast, by the way.
Tom Welling. Yeah. So basically, I was queued up to get a professional photo with him, and they were like, next, and then I seen him there, and I was like, he was like, all right. I said hello, and I said, all right, Lex, or what was, all right, Mr. Luthor. And he goes, please call me Lex. Yeah. I literally freaked out. Yeah. And he was like, you're good. It was just like, you're...
No, you said Mr. Rosenbaum. You did?
No, I said...
Mr. Luthor.
Yeah, I said, Mr. Luthor, nice to meet you, Mr. Luthor. And he goes, please call me Lex. And I was like, he acknowledged it. Nice. Fantastic guy, seriously. He's so lovely.
Who's the other guy you met? Tom.
Tom Welling?
No,
you didn't meet
I
Tom
wished. I'm trying to think who else
Tom
did I
Welling
met.
is he Tom
Superman.
Welling?
He played the Superman in Smallville. And who else did I? Well, most recently, I've met Cameron Monaghan, who played Jerome Velasca
We
and
never hear the end
Jeremiah.
of this, guys.
No, we never hear the end of this.
He's Cal Kestis in Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order and the games. So me and Emma went to Northern Ireland Comic Con up at the Maze Prison, or that's obviously where it is, up at that place, lovely and fun. And basically, I got my photo taken with him.
Yep.
Now, Cameron Monaghan, I spoke to him, and obviously here's me with my Bounty Hunter t-shirt on, such a Star Wars nerd as you could tell. And I was asking him so many questions. I was like, who would you like to see Cal Katz's face? Would you like it to be the Grand Inquisitor, or who would you like to see? And I was just spamming out questions, and Cameron was looking at me, then back to Emma, then Emma was looking at me, and we're all just looking at each other. And then I felt like my girlfriend was just saying, like, he's really just like, you've annoyed him. Like, he's just like standing there. But then I was like, can I get a photo? He was like, yeah, come ahead. So met him. Met Robin Lord Taylor, who played Penguin. Yeah. Phenomenal guy. And I didn't even realize he was in Walking Dead.
He was
in Walking Dead. Robin Lord Taylor was in Walking Dead.
Season 4 and season 5 when he got his foot cut off.
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, thanks for spoiling Walking Dead for me.
You've seen The Walking Dead.
I've never watched a single episode in my life.
Until the last few series.
Yeah.
The last
I like Negan. I like Negan.
Are we pissing our pants yet?
It actually started.
Holy shit!
Gonna be peeing our pants real soon.
No, do that line. Holy shit!
Holy crap! You are creepy as shit coming up to me behind there with your collar and your shirt.
I'm sorry.
Negan's such a great character, but that's when it started.
He was a scumbag at the time. I remember him busting Glenn's skull open and his eyeball and all popped out. I mean, that was. But so I met Robin, lovely guy, and he was like, oh, what's your name? And I was like, oh, my name's Jack. And he said, oh, lovely to meet you. And who's this? And then Emma was like, oh, I'm Emma, such and such. And we were asking how was he? And he was like, oh, good. And he says, where are you from? And I said, kind of, we're both from Belfast, when obviously only I'm from Belfast. He's from Ballymena. And he was like, this is in the middle of nowhere. Like, he was probably questing where this place was. And I said, say, to be honest, we went up we struggled to get to the place ourselves. We went up a side road and all.
Yeah. What was it, what do you call it?
The ex-con?
Yeah, but it's where the Maze Prison used to be. And basically, I told him that, see, between you and I said, you, Cameron Monaghan, and Corey Michael Smith were the only good things about Gotham. And I said, but just don't tell David Matthews and Sean Pertwee, because I was like, even though it's based on him, it's based on Bruce Wayne. I said, but see, the villains used to Penguin. Robin Lord Taylor did a fantastic job as Penguin. He really, and the thing is, it's like it's the same with Corey Michael Smith as the Riddler, because see his portrayal of Riddler in Gotham. Yes, it was a mix between Paul Dano's
Riddler in the
Batman, because it was a mix of Arkham. It was the same with, like, it was Arkham mixed with the comics, and it was kind of dark. Yeah. And the best story was meeting Corey Taylor of Slipknot.
Never hear the end of this.
What? Meeting Corey Taylor of Slipknot. Like, I'm kind of a wee bit off hip hop now, because in my mind I feel like it's dead. Right. So I'm into a lot of heavy metal and rock music now. But I still do hip hop. I just prefer.
Yeah. Right, Jack, I have a very important question for you. This is the main thing that we want to talk about.
What is it?
Which is your favorite Pokemon TV series of all time?
We've talked about
Pokemon. Changing subjects.
We haven't talked about TV series. Very important.
Okay. Can I tell you about Corey Taylor, please?
Okay, go ahead.
Walked up to him and I was like, Corey, big fan. Thank you for it. Like, big fan of your music. And he was like, oh, thanks, man. And here's me with a self-titled Slipknot t-shirt on. And he was just like, oh, thanks, man. And this is a guy who's helped me through so much. And he's probably heard that so many times. Yeah. And I had to keep the queue going. I mean, he gave me a hug and all. I said, like, you've helped me through my hard times and all. But it was just the way I said it. And here, like, I was just so scundry. I only spoke to him for about 15 seconds, and that was it. Posed for a photo, and that was it. Like, that's one of the worst things I kind of regret.
Right, so favorite TV show?
No, Pokemon TV animated series.
Right, go quickly.
Oh, my first?
Yeah, you're first.
Right. Has to be Advanced Challenge or one of the Hoenn series. I love the Hoenn series. Okay. Brock is the best character in all of it. because he's a hopeless romantic.
Yeah.
Kind of like yourself.
No, not like you. You're the opposite. Hardcore.
My favorite.
Well, I'll say it again in the detail,
He's
but
a hopeless hardcore.
Battle Frontier.
Frontier.
Love the Battle Frontier.
Pokemon, be the best you can be.
And find your destiny.
Ooh.
It's the master plan. The power's in your hands, Pokemon.
That's really good chorus. Fucking East Belfast chorus.
it's like this. George's like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
East Belfast Pokemon.
Yeah.
Pokemon.
Right. My favorite.
Diamond and Pearl. That's what we
I was gonna say that, but
X and Y.
no, I hate that shit.
It's always hard when we know all the Pokemon theme songs. We can recite. We can recite them. We know all the theme songs.
What is my favorite series? See, because that's the thing. I didn't watch only up to a certain point. I only
Battle Dimension.
I only
Battle Dimension
Pokemon. I only watched up to a certain series.
Yeah, but you grew up with Diamond and Pearl because I used to watch it before I went to school.
I'm gonna have to say Diamond and Pearl then. The Diamond and Pearl
You
series
grew up with Diamond and Pearl with me.
It was probably my favorite one, but after that, I kind of like after Diamond and Pearl, I didn't watch any of the other series. It was just the games. Sure, I always just played the games.
The Pokemon series were great.
Yeah. Right. Moving on.
Moving on.
Right.
Moving on.
We're going to try and finish this off. Okay.
Right.
So actually, first of all, we've got a couple questions on this.
No, I don't want to answer these questions.
Yes, you do.
We actually have some questions.
Yeah.
One of them's very lewd.
One of them very lewd.
None for me.
Yeah.
Well, you can answer if you want. I mean, you can definitely answer.
I'm very good. I'm very good at answering questions because
you
I
may
speak.
not want to answer
No,
Swine asked this question.
Swine. Right. Where is it? Okay.
Let's use two.
Big swine.
Okay, Chris, they can go for you too as well, I guess.
I gotta say. I thought Johnny was a swine, but shout out to Johnny.
Okay, so obviously at the end of each podcast, we ask people, ask us questions to answer on the podcast.
You've only got one.
We only got one.
That's usual.
Here we go, right? Our only question to answer on this podcast, and it's a very important question, guys. A very important question. George's loving this. What is your favorite sexual position?
Oh, jeez.
So I'll go first. Okay. So
no comment.
There's a thing. So
between you two, no comment.
There's a certain animal, okay, and we have it's called dog. There's a certain position called the doggy. That's all I'll say. The end.
You've lost your PG rating.
It's not rating.
He just knows that anything with sex sells.
Exactly.
And he gets views.
Look.
He probably put 60 quid ads
in the piss cat.
Pascat.
It has a fishy smell to it.
Right. I've only answered this question if Chris and Jack answered.
Right, okay.
No, Chris, no comment.
Answer. Go on.
I like your style, Jack. No comment.
Keep stays in the bedroom.
Swines. All of you are swines.
No, it's called respect. No, Chris, it's called respect. We have respect.
Yeah.
We have respect.
Right,
we've lost all
respect. Solidarity. I shaved my head of solidarity.
Exactly.
Eat your relationship. That's all I'll say.
Here we go.
Oh.
Thomas.
Edit this out. Edit that out.
That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say.
Used to bring me flowers.
Here we go. Right, we're moving on. So we're coming close to the end of the podcast. So let's see. So obviously, we'll talk more about your rap. Where do you see yourself in a couple of years with your rap career? Like, do you want to continue rapping, or do you want to go down another route? Or if you do want to stay with rapping, where do you see yourself going?
It's hard to make it. It's hard to make it in the industry. Like, it really is. There's people who's getting moments, and then people who's like started off really small, now they're up big and performing. And here's me. I've been doing it for near 5 years, and I'm still considering myself as an unknown artist because I mean, I used to be big back in the day, but it's because I was rapping about like all local stuff. But now I feel like no one's really been paying attention to me.
Is there a way to survive as an artist, as a hip hop artist in Belfast?
Probably not.
I just want to know. I'm not being.
No. I know where you're coming from.
Is there a way to survive? And
I feel like it's just. I feel like it is a competition. I feel like that's what it seems to be. Who's making the most stuff, who's putting out the most stuff, who's doing the best content, who's writing the best bar. I mean, that's what always hip hop is. It's always been a competition. That's why you hear like people saying about diss tracks and stuff like that. People saying, Machine Gun Kelly and Eminem going for a beef, like diss tracking each other in the game, dissing Eminem on track. And that's what hip hop originally is. It's competition again. It's competition with each other.
That's what I'm saying. Is there a market for Belfast hip hop?
I think so.
Over there, that gets class. And then what is that market then?
What is that market?
So how would you sell East Belfast rap?
Well, it's all streaming now. I
find all of a sudden now the Americans, right?
Yep.
Are really taking the British hip hop.
Yep, they are.
Have you noticed that? Have you?
It's because of Stormzy and A-Touch or whatever you call him, and
it's really come into the American. I've noticed on YouTube, a lot of YouTubers all love the American ones.
Yeah.
All love starting just all of a sudden because they used to hate it.
Yep.
Now they've really embraced British hip hop.
Yep.
Could they embrace Belfast hip hop?
Well, John Sue. I mean, I'm sure he's known in America as well.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Young Spencer.
He's breached out, yeah. So I feel like, it's great to see what everybody's doing. Like, I think it's fantastic to see, but I think I'll just, because I've done it for so long, I feel like I may just, if there was one other route I would go down is back into my graphic designs.
You were good at graphic design?
I'm still good at my graphic design. Like, I design my own album covers and edit them.
Could you incorporate that graphic design into your hip hop? You could come up with, it could be your graphic design could be accompanied by.
Well, I'll design my own album covers.
You could be designing it as your music's playing.
Well, I never really thought of that.
It could almost become like a cartoon.
Because
like animation.
It's been so long. But if there was one route, I'd go. Like, I'm thinking I might just still stick at it music.
Because you're good at it, you shouldn't give up on it.
Like, I know I did like an 11-track album, and I'm feeling like
just keep going.
Did you ever hear of a country singer called Sturgill Simpson?
Yep, I've heard of him.
Rings a bell.
Yeah, well, he goes and tries different genres.
Yep.
Right.
So he created a metal album.
Yeah.
Or some similar to a metal album, and he used manga. He's obsessed with manga.
Yep.
Oh, the manga.
All the top manga artists.
Johnny.
Different cartoons for different ones of a song.
Yeah.
Of his album. George. Something like that.
Yeah, there's lots of routes I could go down, but it is, like I said, it is hard to get out to make it out there. So, you're not getting paid, and that's why I feel like if you can write a lot of stuff and put it out, then great. But then at the end of the day, you're not really getting paid for even all these like events and stuff. You're not getting paid. It's all like free
unless
stuff.
You're like.
Is there a way to get paid?
Yeah, if you're with a record label.
I've only been paid once, and that was £250. And
but I'm talking about like if you're on a record label, you probably get paid.
Oh yeah, if you're on a record label, then you obviously get paid because you're getting paid to write and use the studio sessions to record. So you're obviously meet a deadline. You have to meet a deadline.
Is it like Jordan?
Yeah,
like Jordan and Tuji with his Sony. Is it Sony he's with?
Like Sony England.
Yeah. You could always be like Sam Smith and
go sell your soul to the devil. More cancellation.
All I'm going to say is Donald Trump for president and Piers Morgan. Morgan.
No.
Top G's.
Yeah,
you say
Andrew Tate for the president of the United States.
I don't like Andrew Tate, but I have to say Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan speaks his mind. I like him, even though people think he's a cunt. I like him because he's controversial.
Andrew Tate's better than Piers Morgan.
He's a womanizer. That's bad.
Yeah, no, and I respect him for that.
Who are you talking about, Thomas?
Andrew Tate.
You didn't like him.
I love him.
Nah, exactly.
See, I know. I remember at first, and then he brought me into Andrew Tate, and I was like, "Fuck, he's a top G. He speaks his mind. He doesn't give any bullshit. He speaks his mind."
He's appealing today, so
nice. He better be free. If not, I'm actually going to fly.
You're going to fly to Romania.
I'm going to get him out of jail. All the top G's will come together, will band together, like the 501st, storming the Jedi Temple.
Don't even disrespect. Don't even do that to the 501st.
Well, they're evil anyway.
Yeah,
they're helping Anakin.
No, they're brainwashed.
Right, so let's end this podcast. This is going to be a very
let's
weird,
wrap it up.
Weird,
let's do a Joe Budden stunt when he interviews Migos.
Let's end this.
Here with the Bajabuji. Here the Bajabuji. What? Just drop the mic. You have to drop the mic. You have to do the Joe Budden stunt. You have to do the. No, he interviewed me. Oh, he's a rapper. He worked for Shitty Records, and he was interviewing Migos, like offset, like, and he basically, because Migos weren't speaking anything, he was like, and then Joe Budden was like, "We need to wrap this up," and then he goes, He just drops the microphone and walks off stage, and then me go start like uncuffling their shirts and all, like they were going to scrap them and all. And I feel like this is how we should end the pod. Just drop them.
Chris's property.
Yes.
I don't want to be sued.
No.
So
No, but how about this? Let's end this with a wee jingle, right? Pick a Pokemon song, we'll sing it. Pick a Pokemon song, we'll sing it as a wee ending.
Battle Frontier.
it's a
No, is it Battle Winner? Is that
No,
the one?
wait.
yeah.
Right, who's gonna right?
No, we all start.
No, wait.
Chris has
here we go,
Chris
here we
has
go.
enjoyed it.
Pokemon, it's a battle, win or lose. It's a friend you make, it's a road you choose.
So
You've
pick
got
the
the
right
right stuff,
stuff,
so
and make
you
your
mind
mind
up. You find the courage inside of you. If you're strong, you'll survive, and you'll keep your dream alive. It's a battle frontier. Pokemon, be the best you can be and find your destiny. It's a master plan. The power's in your head. Pokemon. You said powder.
I know I did. Spastic. Okay, that's the end of the Virtual Party episode 7, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you, Jack.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Of course, thank you for Chris.
Thank you,
Chris.
Sitting on his fat ass, doing nothing all day. Of course not. No, he's been a great help, guys.
Thanks,
He's always
Chris.
been a special part of this podcast. So, guys, thank you very much for listening and for watching. And we will see you. Hosted by Thomas McQuillan and George Gibson.